Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are back with another furnishing video for my ongoing Baroque Palace miniseries. Right now we're actually on a different lot because I decided to prefabricate this bookshelf setup right here. I was supposed to do this on the original lot, but the foundation kept messing with the existing foundation, so I just decided to do this on a different lot. But I noticed we don't have a lot of historical bookshelf CC, which actually really surprised me, so I went ahead and just did this prefabricated one using Felix Sander CC, and we are going to be using it to furnish the King's office or the royal study. In this video, we will be furnishing mostly Rococo style rooms, so the King's study and parts of the Queen's apartment are going to be in the Rococo style. The King's bedroom itself is going to be more Baroque, and then the King's bathroom is going to be a more neoclassical style. So hopefully you can tell the difference. Hopefully I did each style justice, and let me know if you have any suggestions on how I can further improve this, because this is going to be the second to last part of the series. Next week is going to be the finale, so hopefully I pull through because I have been getting so much anxiety lately. In case you didn't know, we are once again back under lockdown. I've been posting about this on Twitter, but unfortunately it's not going so well for us. In the Philippines, we are almost at 10,000 daily cases, so the government had to impose another lockdown, which, in case you didn't know, I talked about this in my previous videos, but our neighborhood was under lockdown 2 weeks ago. That was over, only to be followed by yet another regional lockdown with even more restrictions. So needless to say, I have been so anxious about everything, but obviously I'm just trying to keep a positive mindset and trying to be productive as well during this off period for me. So yeah, hopefully all of you are doing well. I know that some parts of the world really are, having a serious problem with dealing with COVID. I know Brazil, some of you commented, isn't doing so well, so my thoughts go out to all of you out there. Hope you all stay safe. But of course, there's also some, positive things that happened to me. For some reason, I managed to buy a brand new Nendroid, which is really exciting. It's my first one in 2 months. I finally found Yuri Plisetsky Nendroid from Yuri on Ice. I posted him on my Twitter and on my Instagram because I was so excited. I almost gave up on trying to find Yuri on Nendroid because he was so expensive. Like, everywhere I looked, he was way too overpriced, and thankfully I found this one for a very, very reasonable price, around half or less than half of his usual going price on places like Amazon or eBay. Because the box had some very, very slight damage, I don't really mind if the box has some slight damage, as long as it's not complete trash. I'm okay with it. I'm just happy to finally have the Yuri on Ice trio as part of my Nendroid collection. But anyway, as usual, I rambled on as we were furnishing the office, but as you can see, we used our prefabricated bookshelves over there. I was definitely inspired by Louis XVI's office in Versailles, so it's quite simple, quite minimal. Lots of white, definitely a more later 18th century style, I would say, maybe mid 18th century actually. And I also tried to reference Louis XVI's office as well by incorporating a desk that looked a lot like his really famous desk that is in his office, and also a little clock as well, which is also a reference to Louis XVI. I also changed the paintings on the King's drawing room / game room. Initially I used some Canaletto paintings, but I changed those. I used the one Canaletto painting in the office instead, and I replaced the other ones with some paintings of armor actually, which is a very interesting choice. I guess we could also say that the king's drawing room / game room can also be used as like a council room actually, because this palace doesn't really have a council room. I was thinking of making the dining room double as a council room, but you know, with these things, I feel like the space can change its purpose to whatever, if you guys get what I mean, basically. But right now we are furnishing the king's bedroom, and this is definitely a more earlier style, probably like Louis the 14th, Louis the 15th style. And yeah, once again, it is a reference to the king's bedroom in Versailles. The bed is, I think, Louis the 15th's actual bed in Versailles. It's by the Gimo 7, and it is very beautiful. Of course, I had to use it because it is the most elaborate, extravagant bed. Can you see all of that embroidery over there? And I also used a very beautiful crimson red wallpaper with a lot of gold accents, because this is the most important room in this whole entire house. And just to make things a little bit more intimate, I put a little chair in front of the fireplace. One of my favorite period dramas is actually Versailles, the series by a French production company, I believe, Canal Plus. Yeah, it's an English language show actually, but I believe it's a French production. But I just recall images of Louis XIV sitting in front of his fireplace and having a conversation with one of his trusted courtiers. That's kind of like the reference for putting that chair in front of the fireplace. I believe that it's actually royal protocol to only have chairs with backrests for the king himself, and nobody else is allowed to have a chair with backrests. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that. But the king's bedroom itself is pretty straightforward. It's a very small, intimate room, but there is like a barrier fence thing in front of the bed because, as we all know, Versailles does have these very theatrical events for when the king and the queen are waking up. I believe it's called the levée, and yeah, there's this whole ceremony behind it where people actually watch the king and queen wake up, like the public get to see that. That's why there's a barrier in front of the king's bed, to make sure that the public stay away from the king. By public, I mean nobles, actually. I don't think the normal peasants would have been allowed to get close to the king, except on certain occasions, actually. But now we are working on the king's bathroom, and this style is definitely more neoclassical. I wasn't sure what to do, to be honest, because as we all know, they didn't really have a reputation for, you know, being the cleanest people at the time. But I do know that Versailles does have a bathroom. I don't know which Louis it was, but there's definitely like a bathtub that looks like a hot tub, and it's marble. It's like on the ground floor of Versailles. So that was kind of like the inspiration for this, even though I did use green marble for this one, which is so beautiful. I would say that the king and queen probably enjoy taking baths as well. This is one of 2 bathrooms in this house, and I also put a toilet as well over here, even though I think the toilet realistically would be located in a different room. But I just went ahead and put it here because I was literally running out of space to put everything. Also, a lot of you have been giving me suggestions on some new CC creators, because as you all know, I don't really do a lot of builds with CCs, so I'm quite new to the whole CC fandom, but a lot of you did suggest some CC creators, which I did check out actually, and the rugs that I used here are actually from Tumblr, a CC creator that some of you suggested I check out from Tumblr, so I will also add them to my very long list of CC creators that I used for this build. I am absolutely dreading coming up with the list of CC for this build because it is going to be a long one. Just the Felixander and Gemo7cc alone is going to be a pain to categorize, so wish me luck. If next week's video goes up on time, there is going to be a very strong possibility that the list of CC would follow, because I don't think I would be able to complete it next week. I was also supposed to put up another video this weekend on an updated renovation for one of my ongoing redesign Newcrest builds. Yeah, but things have been happening so fast. I have just given myself time to, you know, take everything in and process everything, and that's why I pushed it to this weekend. So anyway, I decided to work on this one instead, which I'm really happy that I did because it took me forever to actually furnish this. The bathroom alone took me like over an hour, and that was just the bathroom. But anyway, this is my favorite room that I have furnished so far. This is the Queen's drawing room, and the inspiration for this room is the Salon de Noblesse in Versailles. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize in advance if I am not doing justice to these pronunciations, but definitely the Salon de Noblesse in Versailles inspired the color scheme for this room, which is very pastel. I love that turquoise pale green color. Really loved it, with some gold accents and some creams and that beautiful neoclassical rug from Tumblr. I really love it. I just loved how this room came together. I think out of all of the rooms, this one turned out being the most intimate, surprisingly, even though it's the room where the Queen would probably receive her audience. I'm also using a lot of paintings on this room because, you know, I found some really awesome paintings of these French ladies. I think one of those paintings that I used actually was Marie Antoinette, and this one is another painting of a French lady. And also, by the way, doesn't this room remind you of Lady Cora's sitting room in Downton Abbey? I think it's the blue-green wallpaper actually, and the furniture really reminds me so much of Lady Cora's drawing room in Downton Abbey. Anyway, we are now moving on to the last room that we're going to be furnishing in this part. And this is the Queen's bedroom, which another one of my favorite bedrooms. Initially, I went for this light blue color scheme. I totally forgot that Felixander came out with a whole Marie Antoinette wallpaper set. So I will be exchanging this blue wallpaper with that. For some reason, I forgot all of the CC that I had because it's very rare for me to actually use CC nowadays, but I'm glad to discover all of them because they definitely sparked a lot of inspiration. That bed is also super gorgeous. That is one of the most beautiful beds I have seen in The Sims. Once again, we are using a rug from Tumblr, and also a lot of the furniture here will be changed, like those chairs right there. They will be changed to match this wallpaper that I finally discovered. I'm glad I actually went through all of the wallpapers and saw that one because I like this way more than my original choice. I think it is the embodiment of the Rococo style, very pastel, very floral. I absolutely loved it. And the ceiling that I chose for this room also matches with this style as well. Really pleased with this room overall. And yeah, we are just changing the sitting area into a more appropriate color scheme, I guess, because obviously I was not going to keep that blue because the detail on the chairs actually matched the floral patterns that we have all over this room as well. So yeah, I think that's actually going to be it Once again, relatively short video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Once again, if you have any suggestions, now is the last time to tell me, because the next part is going to be the last part. So that being said, I think I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.